What is up, everyone out there in internet land, and welcome to episode 465 of The Straight Shooters, available wherever podcasts are found. My name is Vaughn Johnson, and I'm joined as always by my main man, Pots and Pans, Nick Piccone of Crossing Broad, and we have a special guest in the building. It's the third man, Brian Isley, back on the show to talk about a whole bunch of things in pro wrestling. We're going to talk about AEW. They were in Philly this past week. At the Accor Center, and of course, Double or Nothing was last weekend. So we got a lot to talk about there. We're going to talk about the AAA show, which had the main event of the Americanos, El Grande Americanos going at it, massive versus mass match. And of course, today, recording this, during Clash in Italy, or before Clash in Italy, or the day of Clash in Italy. So we're going to do a quick recap of that show as well. But before we do anything else, I got to do my check-in with my main man, Pots and Pans. Nick, how are you on this lovely Sunday afternoon, evening, my good brother?
The summer is near, and weather hasn't been too hot, so I'm happy. I'm happy. The Phillies had a big win last night in LA. Might win the series out there.
Woo!
Depending how today goes. They swept the Padres. I don't know if we're back, but the vibes aren't in the toilet anymore.
That says something. That says something.
And I got to talk to Wheeler Yuta earlier this week,
there you
which
go.
was awesome for Crossing Broad. Talked about some, Flyers, Phillies, Eagles. So I enjoy talking Philly sports with a pro wrestler that's a Philly sports fan.
There you go. You can check that story out over on Crossing Broad. Brian, we got an NBA Finals matchup that takes us back to 1999. Knicks versus Spurs. How you feeling about that? How are you? Also,
I'm well, Vaughn. Thank you for asking. 1999, senior year in high school. Spurs won 4-1 against the Knicks. You ain't have to do the Kevin Hart shit, bro. You ain't have to do that. You did not have to do that, bro. Just because you were 6 months old back then.
I was 10. I was a solid 10 years old in 1999.
Just because you were still eating Gerber at the time. No.
Not Gerber. I was in grade school. I remember the Knicks series, Knicks and Spurs in the finals.
Yeah. That was the lockout season, 50 games, and the Spurs with Tim Duncan and David Robinson, Avery Johnson at the point, Sean Elliott,
Johnson,
Popovich as the coach, beat the New York Knicks that had Allen Houston, Latrell Sprewell, Larry Johnson, post Grandmama.
Yep.
And Patrick Ewing couldn't play because he was injured. But the Knicks,
was he even on the Knicks in that team? He's on that team.
He was
on the Sonics.
He was on the roster, but he got hurt.
Okay.
They were the 8th seed, and they miraculously made it through the finals and lost 4-1 to the Spurs. And I think that's going to be the result this year as well.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Nick is a Knicks hater, apparently. Hell yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Knicks can get 2 games in this series. I think the Knicks are a good team. But I think the Spurs with Wemby's just, what do you do with Wemby?
Nothing.
You just can't do nothing with him.
You lose. That's what you do.
Like the Thunder were the best team in basketball by far last year.
Right.
And they really couldn't do much with Wemby this year. They were borderline helpless when it came to Wemby. And that's what it is sometimes.
People are saying like he had an up and down Western Conference Finals as far as production goes, but the overall stat line was 22 points, 10 rebounds. No, 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks per game.
What? What are you supposed to do?
You can't do anything with that. This guy has 7 step back threes.
The Thunder ain't just some also ran. They're not some tomato can. They're the reigning champs, and they were by far and away the best team last year.
Yeah.
They had an injury. I think it was Jalen Williams missed Game 7, but like, good Lord. What do you do?
Mm-hmm. And the writing was on the wall because the Spurs were beating up on them all season long. Like the Thunder were beating everybody else by a considerable margin, but they could not beat the Spurs. Go back and look at that regular season matchups. The Spurs got their number. They had the upper hand all season long, and they wound up meeting in the Western Conference Finals, which was the ideal matchup. That's what everybody wanted to see. And Spurs got it done. 2 road wins, game 1 and game 7. So
Whew. That's tough, man. That's tough. But Knicks, Spurs, NBA Finals, and we got Hurricanes and the Golden Knights. Very boring Stanley Cup final. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah,
Montreal
go Canes,
and Colorado would have been much more fun for me. Instead, we get Las Vegas and Carolina. Nah. I don't care about that. Maybe if you're a hockey purist, you love it. But like, as I like the fan, I wanted to see Montreal in the final, bro. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, Vegas gets there because the league handed them, everything
A
on a
great
silver
team.
platter when they came into the league, just because it's a Vegas team. So they take advantage of it. Can't hate, I guess, on the way they just want to win, but I can hate them for a lot of reasons that they're just not the Flyers, and I hate it.
And that's it. And that's
I know
it.
they're in the West, but I mean, imagine if the Flyers came into the league and were handed every opportunity the way the Golden Knights were,
Well,
But
I mean, Seattle. You don't
whatever.
think Seattle had a chance? With that similar.
Seattle, Vegas,
Seattle hasn't cashed into that level.
they're not gonna, I guess, give Seattle all the opportunities they gave the Vegas team when they came in.
I would hope they did. Like, as far as the the expansion draft rules and stuff like that, if they made it different for Seattle and Las Vegas, that would be insane, right?
I don't think they were.
I know they were very
I don't-
lenient to Las Vegas. I
think
know they were
were
very
identical,
lenient.
but yeah, they gave Vegas like every opportunity to do what
Yeah.
they did, and they were in the finals. Their first year or second
Their
year?
first 2 years, they won this cup the second year,
It's ridiculous.
and they're back again.
With our guy.
yeah,
John Tortorella behind the bench.
they're a really good team, like you
That
said. Even
started
John
them-
Tortorella
that
can get them
started
to the
with them
finals.
last month. So
Even John Tortorella, halfway through the season, getting to the finals. Like, don't worry. Let's talk about some pro wrestling here. We got AEW in Philly this past week. 2 of the 3 of us were there, but all 3 of us were involved in some way. Nick, like you said, you had a story or an interview with Wheeler Yuta that you wrote for Crossing Broad, so go check that out. But also, again, Brian and I were in the building at the Leocore Center, and this is the first episode of Dynamite and Collision. They did both in one night after Double or Nothing. So, Brian, I want to get your thoughts about what you feeling. How are you feeling about AEW at the moment, and what the kind of the direction they're going in, going into All In coming up this summer? Even though I think they have another pay-per-view before that, Forbidden Door, that's coming up before that. But obviously, the North Star here is All In, and with the Owen Hart Cup and everything like that, it looks like we're still on track to get MJF versus Will Ospreay in the main event. I don't see what other match you do. But again, how are you feeling about where they are right now in the state of the product in AEW?
how I'm feeling? How am I feeling? It's AEW all day, every day. AEW is the best promotion in the world right now. It's awesome. I feel great about the direction that AEW is going in. I feel great that MJF is the reigning 3-time AEW world champion before the age of 30. I feel great about everything. I feel great about their booking decisions. I feel great about it all, Vaughn. I'm AEW all day, every day, twice on Sunday, twice on Wednesday.
I mean, we saw 2 shows on Wednesday, back to back.
I have a question
So
about
twice
that.
on Wednesday. I'm pissed off that I didn't know you were there until the day after.
Yeah, I kind of come in, I got stealthy. I didn't get the tickets till the day before, so it was a last minute kind of deal. So, but yeah,
hmm
I was there in the flesh, having a good time. AEW shows are generally fun to watch in person. And
I was kind of shocked that that there was literally nobody in the 200 section. But outside of that,
I wasn't
you weren't.
shocked that no one was up there. No, I mean there was a couple people up there, but I don't remember that
people.
being the case. I don't remember that being the case last time I was there. And what was that? 2024, I think. At the Leah Chorus, at least I was at the 2300 last year, but but the lower bowl was full,
Yes.
so
Yes.
there wasn't an empty seat in the lower bowl, which I think is
Not at all.
promising. It looks good on
Yeah.
TV at least.
They couldn't sell that out. Ew.
I mean, it's a
Uh-oh.
Dynamite. I think if it's a pay-per-view, they at least have more people on the upper deck. I don't know if they can pack it out. I understand, but they sold like when they did Arthur Ashe, they had 14,000. Not Arthur Ashe, Louis Armstrong, they had like 14,000. So
Yeah.
they can sell some tickets, for the bigger shows. I think the show they did in LA not too long ago had like another like 12, 13, 14,000. So it's not like they can't draw those types of crowds in buildings when especially for the bigger shows. But for a Dynamite, maybe not.
And that's what surprised me. I thought coming off of Double or Nothing, having a great turnout and Philly being so close, for a Dynamite that's right after Double or Nothing where you had a huge turnout, I thought that place was going to be packed. But like you said, the 100 section, the floor packed, not an empty seat in the 100 section, but I thought it was going to be a 200 section packed. So I thought it was going to be a packed house. And I was wrong in that regard, but great show. Awesome show. Both shows were great.
I haven't paid attention to a lot of like this TV taping schedule, just for pro wrestling in general. Why did they have a Collision taping after if it wasn't going to be aired Saturday? They had like another live Collision last night from Alabama. Like, what's the reason? Is there any particular reason behind doing a schedule like that?
I do not know. I'd assumed it was because they were preempted by something. But
It was like on regular time, 8 to 10 last night on TNT. So that's why I'm confused of why they just.
Me too, because I initially thought, I'm like, oh, they're filming the Collision because WWE has a PLE this weekend, but the PLE is on Sunday, not on
Right.
Saturday, so it didn't interfere with what they had going on at all. So I was really confused, but I ain't care. I was there for 2
Like, I'm not saying they shouldn't do that. I just wonder, like, why? Because usually I used to be on top of like that type of stuff before, but I'm not now. Like even WWE schedules, I do not pay attention. Like I would forget tomorrow that Raw is on at 2:00 if I'm not reminded.
Oh, I forgot
tomorrow.
already that SmackDown was on that too.
Yeah, like
This past Friday.
I just don't know, So I was like, oh, I guess they'll air that again on Saturday. I know it's live on Wednesday night. They aired that whole 3-hour block, but then it was a whole new episode for 2 hours last night from Alabama. So
Beats me.
if somebody out there knows the reasoning, I would love to know.
I'm sure it exists
like
somewhere
Googling it.
because there was no hockey last night. The Stanley Cup
Right,
final doesn't
yeah,
start
exactly.
until this week, I'd assume.
Maybe if it went 7 games, maybe that's maybe that's why
Maybe.
they just do it just in case, perhaps. But yeah, that
should've,
would make the most sense to me. But I don't know if
I
that's
should've
a
asked-
fact or
I
not.
should have asked Andrade when he pulled up before when they were leaving. Andrade pulled up on me and my daughter and just smiled at us and left. It was weird. It was super weird, but it was cool at the same time. My daughter was like, "Did that just happen? Was he just staring at you and smiling?" I was like, "Yeah, B, that really happened." It's just, I guess that's cool.
He's just being nice to a fan, I guess. Fans, smile, wave, and move on.
He would have never
I'm
done
gonna
that
see.
in
I'm gonna
WWE.
look if
Yeah,
I'm gonna look and see if Andrade is following me on Trash Bars. Maybe he reckon-
maybe. He hops out the car. You trash bars, right? You. That's you. Trash bars. I know
'cause
you.
it was a kind of long, uncomfortable stare. It got a little
He probably
uncomfortable.
was trying to figure you out. Like, is that trash bars? Is this him? The one and only?
That's what I was gathering that. I was thinking maybe he recognized me on social media, but it was a long gaze. It was
A
uncomfortable.
long
Is
gaze.
that the third man from the Straight Shooters?
Yeah, it could be that as well.
Could be that as well. what was some of your favorite moments from the show in Philly, Brian, that you can recall during your time there?
Can't be many.
Jericho.
That's crazy.
Come on, Nick.
I mean, like I was like hyped for it after Double or Nothing, but then I was kind of like bored watching it. But maybe it's different in person.
It most certainly
It's fun
is.
in person. Yeah.
Jericho versus Ricochet. Because my daughter is a huge Ricochet mark. So just watching her cheer Ricochet while everybody else is booing him was hilarious. Yeah, I did say you were a mark. Yes. For Ricochet, my daughter just pulled up on me. For Ricochet,
Did you call me a mark?
I'm a huge Ricochet mark.
Yeah, she just admitted it. She's a huge Ricochet mark, and she was cheering Ricochet while the whole crowd was booing him. It was hilarious to me. You hear that?
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
I mean, Ricochet's an Eagles fan, so I would never boo him in person. So.
Okay. Word.
Now you gave Brian another reason to boo Ricochet.
Facts.
But but they are bald brethren, so
that's true too. That's true too. I was not doing the ball chants. I know the I was highly.
You had a hat on and everything.
I didn't have a hat on. I should have.
head looking like a golf ball.
Come on, man. So yeah, I do root for Ricochet in that regard, but Jericho is one of my all-time favorites. Like he's in my top 10 all-time favorite wrestlers. So to see him live for I think the very first time is dope. That was super dope. And of course MJF coming out. That was hilarious. He said Mark Briscoe was an ugly piece of shit.
Yeah, that's crazy. He said, "You too ugly to get a title shot, bro. You're not marketable. Roosh, you're cool. We can make some money with you. Mark Briscoe, nah, you too ugly, bro. No uggos allowed."
To get a title shot is insane.
That's good reason for a heel to do that.
Yeah,
not pretty enough.
That was hilarious. I love that. To see Tony Schiavone come out like that. I've been watching Tony Schiavone since I was 5 years old. That's crazy to see him still working. It's just dope. The Superstation showcase, that match was pretty cool. Yeah, it was. I like the whole show, but Ricochet versus Jericho, that was my favorite match.
Yeah, it was a good time. I don't know how many times I've seen Will Ospreay in person. Now that I think about it, I might have seen him a couple times, but first time in a while. So it's always cool to see Will Ospreay. And fire is hot, bro. I sat near the stage and they shoot off the fire for everybody. It's hot, okay? Like it can get warm when you're sitting that close to fire, believe it or not. So that's always interesting to me. It's also good to see. I forgot Edge and Christian, or I guess Cope and Christian too. They got to do a 5-second pose for the benefit of those who flash photography. And Nick and I just did Judgment Day 2000, where they did the hillbilly one in Louisville. And hope y'all liked it. Like that was hysterical. So it's like, man, what if they brought that back somehow? That'd been fun. But the dogs came out and messed up the 5-second pose. So. Boo.
Yeah. Christian was like, everybody sit down and shut your mouth. And Coach was like, whoa, what are you doing?
What's wrong with you?
It was like, wait, hey, it's not like I said I banged their mothers.
Insane. And people go, yay!
And they cheered that, right? That's crazy.
Wrestling fandom can be strange sometimes.
Right.
I will say I did really enjoy Double or Nothing. It's funny. I don't know if this was intentional or if they weren't allowed to, but there wasn't a lot of blood on that show, which I think enhances the show. I think, to me, when you're not doing every match that has blood, like it makes somebody does bleed, it makes it more special. And when AEW just gets in there and wrestles and doesn't do a bunch of like gimmicky matches or like weapons matches, they can really do it, bro. And that crowd in New York was hot, maybe because they're happy about the Knicks right now, so everybody's just happy in New York. Big whoop.
Everybody, bro, like it's insane right now. I'm not, and not to cut you off. I know a lot of New York fans. My dad's a diehard New York fan. Malik Cool Breeze Kuberi,
Oh man.
diehard Knicks fan. I can't get any of them to shut up right now. Yeah.
I mean, it has been a while, so as we understand, we live in Philly, like we know what it's like to go a long time without winning titles and seeing a
Oh
team
man,
appear in championship games. We
guys, you should
understand.
have heard Vaughn's off-air rant.
Nah.
It was epic. I wish Nick had recorded it.
It wasn't nothing bad about the Knicks, honestly. It was bad about another team in the NBA. We'll just keep it off
local
air.
ties.
Local ties. That's a funny way to put it. Team with local ties. But yeah, I'm sure it's a good time for those Knicks fans and a good time for the New Yorkers who had Double or Nothing. Like I said, they saw great wrestling for the most part. And that's where AEW kind of shines. Is that their stories aren't always super duper compelling, and sometimes they don't always make the most sense. Like I'm still not sure why Will Ospreay is hanging out with the Death Riders after they tried to break his neck, and he's just like cool with them now, and they're not cheering him on. It's like what's happening here?
Yeah,
I still don't get it. I don't know why Will Ospreay even needs a Death Riders. He's Will Ospreay. That's what
Maybe
makes
they
him
privately
special.
apologized, perhaps.
I guess that's
we have to make the ends meet in our minds.
I guess so. So again, not everything's perfect, but I think when they get in that ring and that bell rings and they just go out there and have good matches, not even like crazy gimmicky matches or matches with a ton of interference, just normal wrestling, they really shine. And I think Double or Nothing was an example of that for AEW.
Yeah,
But yeah, again, in person, go ahead.
Just like I love pure wrestling. And my favorite match at Double or Nothing was Okada and Takeshita. Like I felt like
That
that was
was
the
classic.
best wrestling match on that
Classic.
show, and like in a long time, So that's where what I view why I like watching old school stuff when I see wrestling like that. It's not just spot set up for a spot, wait a little bit, set up for another spot. So and that just plagues wrestling today in general. So when you get like an old school type feel to it, that's me. So again, I make fun of AEW a little bit with Brian, but WWE could not hold a wrestling match like that today on the main roster, at least.
No, they don't take enough. They don't. Let me rephrase. They don't really take chances on their big matches all the time. Now, maybe we'll see something different. We'll talk about it later on in the show about Clash in Italy.
Yeah.
But it just the urgency just isn't there
Right.
with WWE
Play
sometimes,
safe.
even for the bigger shows. It's like if you're not going to do it at WrestleMania, if you're not going to do it at the Royal Rumble, then when is it going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. Like people still get hurt though. It's like we don't want to get hurt, but you still get hurt. It's
Still get hurt.
It's pro wrestling, man. That's what happens.
You
Still
can
get hurt.
play
You
it.
would think because they wrestle less, you would be able to like make the matches you do have, the bigger ones at least, especially count. Like you save up for the big ones, right? That's why they're not wrestling every night. So when you have a banger, like when you have a big match like tonight, Clash in Italy, or today I should say, it's 2:00 start. But like when you have a match like Tribal Combat, then you let it all hang out. And who's to know? I haven't looked up the news lately, but who's to say what's going to happen with that match as far as
Right.
with Jacob Fatu,
Right.
his status. But yeah, I think that AEW sometimes can overdo it, where every match is trying to deliver at that level, and it makes the show 5 hours, and every match is 25 minutes, and it's not always the most enjoyable experience. But like, I do like when sometimes they just go out there and just have good matches. Like Will Ospreay and Samoa Joe was really good.
Yeah. And that was like a short match.
Yeah,
And it doesn't have
and
to
that's
be
fine.
a 20-some minute match either.
Exactly. Even though I can look, I've watched Will Ospreay and Samoa Joe for 25 minutes. If they
Yeah.
wanted to serve that up, I'm cool with it. But like, what was it? Swerve and Bandito wasn't like an exceptionally long match. I think the show, at least the main show overall, was 4 hours. A tight
It
4
was.
hours.
Even Okada and Takeshita
I was
wasn't
about
like
to say
that
that.
long.
Go ahead, Brian.
Oh, okay. It wasn't the 5-6 hour marathon that that you guys load. It was a tight
Yeah,
four.
just over 4 hours. Perfect for me.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, midnight is still kind of tough. I got a kid that
Yes.
got to get up at 5 in the morning to get ready to go to school, so that's tough. Would I prefer them doing pay-per-views on Saturdays? Absolutely, but it wasn't as long as it normally is. Now I know All In and all that stuff. I know that's going to be a 5, 6 hour pay-per-view, but
I mean, if you
number
watch the pre-show, it was like 5-6 hours, but like the main show, I should say.
we, you know what, we made a deal like no more pre-shows, no more SmackDown. We going to just
Mm,
just going to watch main event PLEs and pay-per-views. No more pre-show stuff. We can't clock in for 8 hours with wrestling anymore.
no, I don't blame you. Got stuff to do. Got life to
That's
live.
yeah. We
Got
love
stuff
it,
to do.
So
but
one
we always say too much of anything is not a good thing. So
Right. No word yet on when Dynamite or it's AEW, I should say overall, is coming back to Philly. I asked, did not get an answer, but hopefully for another pay per view at some point. I don't see why Philly isn't maybe not annual, but like among the frequent rotation of stops for pay per views. Like
you know what I've
especially
noticed?
because go ahead.
I've noticed that every year around Memorial Day, AEW is in the area. It's either in Philly or it's in Atlantic City. We went to
Mm,
Atlantic City last year around this exact same time, and then we were in Philly this year. So maybe it just rotates. Maybe they'll be back in Atlantic City next year and then back in Philly the following year. I don't know, but that's what it seems to be a pattern.
yeah, yeah,
They
that
had
makes sense.
Dynasty last year in Philly
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. So if it's an every other year type deal, I guess I'd be cool with that. But I think uh, for a pay per view, I don't remember what the attendance was for Dynasty last year. I wasn't at Dynasty, but I would assume for a pay per view, the crowd will be bigger
Didn't they come
because
here
you know
for
you're
a
going to get.
collision after that?
What's that?
Didn't they come here for a collision after the pay per view?
I think you're right about that. Yeah,
It's
I
like
think
one
they
of
did come here
those-
for a collision.
Yeah, so like
Or they did have the residency last year, which was
that's
Dynamite
true.
and
Yeah,
Collision.
that's true.
Ah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm thinking of.
So I was at a couple of those shows. And I think they did a Ring of Honor pay per view. I think it was Death Before
Yeah.
Dishonor
Yeah.
was the one they did at 2300 last year. But yeah, good times down at I'll say up at the Leah Core Center up in North Philly on Broad Street, where 2300 is very much in South Philly. But good time down there, and looking forward to AEW's return at some point. Again, no word on that just yet.
I'll be there whenever they come back. Me and Brianna.
And the thing is, and I'm gonna wrap it up. Like we can wrap it up AEW with this, is that AEW is the show that you can like afford to take your kid to these days. Like honestly, and that's a great thing. Like you can take your daughter and not have to worry about I got to drop crazy amounts of money. Like I got to save money to do this kind of deal. We can get these tickets at an affordable rate. It's in an arena that's still pretty accessible as far as Leah Chorus. I don't know what the parking situation is. So Brian, I know you drive, but like for me, it's right off the subway. So boom,
Right.
and then you at the Leah Chorus, so the concessions aren't going to be crazy. It's not like it's going to get the link. So yeah, if I'm AEW, I'm definitely promoting that we're the more affordable product that you could potentially bring a kid to, even though not everything they do is for kids. Like, but
That's the
you
thing.
don't want to see people get stabbed with syringes on the show you
Women
bring your kid to,
tables.
right?
It was
But
it was it was wild in there. My daughter was like, "Hey, Dad, can I do all the chants?" I'm like, "Oh my God."
not all of them, not all of them. But yeah,
She did
I think
all
that.
of them.
Okay, you let that one slide. You just let it slide this time.
I
You
let
know
it
what?
slide.
Said,
Yeah,
it's
you can have this
AEW.
day.
It's AEW. Let's go.
Right, don't tell your mama. All right.
Right.
Just don't tell your mom. All right. But yeah, I would definitely promote my product as a more affordable product that's more fan friendly than what WWE is serving up right now, because They're just saying we're going to charge more, and that's just it. We're going to lose some people, but that's okay. But AEW should be the flip of that. Honestly, it should be the flip of that. You should be like, yeah, we can get 4 tickets for the price of one from WWE. Come hang out with us instead, and
have a great too. Get great seats.
You'll get a lot of wrestling. You'll get probably a smaller venue, so you get better sight lines. You'll get a lot of wrestling, not just like talking in commercials. You get a lot of matches, and for some people, that's what they want. Now, again, I don't want to be there for 6 hours, but like for a Dynamite or Collision, you get 3 hours of pretty much match after match. That's pretty good. Like, it's not a bad deal. So I'll leave it to that with as far as the AEW portion of the show. Let's go to last night, though. We had AAA's Noche de los Grandes. Nick, did I say that right?
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm asking Nick like he's a Spanish major, like he's a Spanish expert.
Listen, I took up the Spanish 5 in high school, and
man,
I listened to a lot of Spanish on the radio with the sports teams, Eagles and Phillies specifically. So
that's true.
The Flyers and Sixers don't have a Spanish commentary team, but if they did, I'd listen to them.
Nick, did you switch to the Spanish broadcast team during wrestling shows too? Or are you that guy?
No, actually, I don't, because the devices I usually watch them on, like it's just tough to do that.
Right.
I just, if I did it on my iPad, maybe it would be like easier, or smart TV, but that's not generally how I consume wrestling. But yeah, like not that I'm like actively against like avoiding it, but I just don't think of it.
Well, yeah, I was just messing with you. I dig it.
Like, it's weird. Like live sports, I'm always looking for like a Spanish call here and there, but when it comes to wrestling, I don't think about that at all. Interesting.
Well,
you didn't
switch it on. You didn't switch on the Spanish commentary for the El Grande Americano versus the original El Grande Americano,
not the
mask versus mask match.
Not in my original watching, but I've heard like I definitely need to listen to it with the Spanish commentary, so I'm going to do that.
Oh, that's probably good, because I did have it on YouTube with the English commentary, and I think was it Corey Graves on there, if I remember correctly.
Corey Graves, JBL, and Rey Mysterio.
Oh man,
yeah.
So that's not. I'm sure the Spanish commentary is just full of passion and full of.
Better, yeah.
You don't even need to know what they're saying to feel the passion, and because mask versus mask matches are the pinnacle of lucha libre, essentially, even more than like title matches. It's the mask versus mask matches. That's what makes it so special. And they did the full thing. They had the entrances, obviously, and of course the new the current Grande Americano is the Ludwig Kaiser one. He won. He kept his mask because he's massively over in Mexico. And he might just live down there now. Like, he might just be the guy in AAA.
Not only like live down there, but also maybe he just keeps the gimmick for the rest of his in-ring career, or like if it doesn't slow down, why would you make a change? Obviously early to say that, but man, like I don't think anybody, like they backed into this incredibly because Chad Gable got hurt, but so often in wrestling do they not take advantage of a situation they're given. So I would love for them to just take advantage of this as much as they can without hopefully beating us over the head with it. I think right now it happening in AAA also helps because you're actively searching this content out. You're not seeing it on WWE's main shows often. It makes me wonder if they would like play this on Raw or something, if they would just like play the match. Like, how crazy would that be? But yeah, like, man, very seldom do we see stuff like this happen in wrestling. And when it happens, we always want them to take advantage of it. And we always feel like 9 times out of 10, they don't. So I don't think the match last night could have gone any like better. As a fan, like watching it, like it was just incredible theater. The crowd is what makes it so special.
Yeah, it was insane. The crowd heat. I mean, this, like I said, this is the most important match you can do pretty much in Mexico. It is interesting that it happened with 2 white guys in Mexico. But the people bought into it. So it's like, what are we supposed to do? Not make money? Like, I don't know.
Right.
But
They love it. It's I'll listen
they
to
cool.
them.
Right, it's
over,
their
another
culture,
watch
it's
eyes
their
or
tradition.
Yeah.
Like I'll respect it as whatever they want to do with it. Like I said, I just find it funny that that's what happened.
Yeah.
And I saw at one point it was like over 100,000 people watching the stream live.
Yes. There
Just
was
like,
by the
damn.
time when I noticed it, it was over 300,000
Oh my god!
And
On
it
a
was
Saturday
it
night,
was
this show
definitely
didn't start
during
till
the
10
main event.
o'clock.
during the main event. Maybe it was towards the end or maybe right after the match, but there was, I think it was like 302 when I noticed.
Jesus.
It. I was like, whoa.
This show didn't start till 10 p.m. Eastern, by the way, which is late. We talk about AEW shows being late. This show didn't start till 10, which is insane. So you know me, I'm tired after a long day of playing flag football and then coming home, and now I got to watch AAA.
Bro, the timing was impeccable. Edmundo Sosa hits a right after this goes off the air, by the way. The main event ends, they do their post-match thing, and then they eventually fade to black. Literally, like minutes later, Edmundo Sosa hits a home run to put the Phillies up 4-3 in the 8th inning out in L.A. Like it couldn't have gone better for me, personally, as a Phillies fan and wrestling fan. So, man, the timing couldn't have been better for that, for me personally.
Well, not great timing for me. But you did mention that, again, Ludwig Kaiser Americano. He defeated Chad Gable Americano. And they did the whole unveiling, which is tradition. They will stand in the ring and they will announce who they are and take off the mask. And everybody's like, oh, that's what they look like. But it's different when it's Chad Gable. And we already knew who it was. And they still did it. And people were like, into it. It's like, all right, whatever, man. Like, whatever works. Still kind of strange that he unmasked. And for one, he's bleeding everywhere. His kids are in the ring with him. His wife. It's like, get the towel. Get this man a towel. Okay.
I know, right? Yeah, it was still like dripping down his face. He kept blinking his eyes because his blood was getting in his eyes. During the whole thing.
Yeah. By the way, this was a bloody affair, which it's gonna happen sometimes. They ripping at each other's masks, stuff like that. But yeah, they got it done, and we'll see what happens here. I can see. The only Americano, Grande Americano, actually just staying in Mexico. I don't know how much more they're going to do this, or they're going to do this gimmick on Raw, because it really doesn't work on Raw. Like, nobody really gets into it on Raw.
Right, it's a different
audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they tried to use it on Raw in the last couple of weeks to try to promote the match they had last night, but you did it. You promoted it, clearly. A lot of people watched. 300,000 people, like you said, at one point during the main event, watching it live on the stream. Ton of people watching something at the same time. So clearly that worked, but like, again, now that it's been decided, boom, let Chad Gable go back to Raw as Chad Gable. And if Ludwig Kaiser is cool with staying down there and like being the guy, which I'm sure he is, I don't think you have to really bribe him to do this.
He ain't getting a reaction like that on the main roster.
By the look on his face when I see him as the Americano character, he looks like he's having a tremendous time. I mean, you can't see his face; he's got a mask on, but like you can tell he is loving life down there. And then I think when he came back and he had like an event after he had his arrest, which was a whole different story because that match almost didn't happen.
Right.
And for those who don't know, he got arrested last week for beating up a guy after. He said something slick to him and his girlfriend in the elevator at their apartment building, and Ludwig Kaiser immediately stole off on homeboy. But he made it to the match, but the first time he showed up back in Mexico after that, he had like tears in his eyes because people were like pretty much bowing to him. He's the guy down there.
Maybe it's a realization he almost messed up this.
Oh yeah, he was like, oh, all of this is almost taken from me because I was hanging out being
idiocy,
beating up some dude. But did you know who bailed Ludwig Kaiser out of jail when he got arrested?
Gunther?
Yep.
That was a total guess. I did not even know that. That's hilarious.
TMZ had a report that said, according to the paperwork, a man by the name of Walter Hahn bailed him out.
Good thing his name's Gunther. No one's gonna know it's him.
No, it's Walter Hahn. So. Like, look out for Gunther, looking out for his guy.
Yeah, Imperium reunites,
Right.
in jail.
Still got to look out for his boy. That's crazy stuff. But yeah, it was a really good match. Obviously, you're gonna get that from, Ludwig Kaiser and Chad Gable. They're great, very talented wrestlers. Where they go from here, again, I think the Grande Americano thing could just stay in Mexico because it does not really work on Raw. It just doesn't. It kind of drags the show. And also the Creeds look ridiculous in their masks. Like, their masks are ill-fitting. You can tell they probably got them cheap at the last minute just to, like, say they have masks. But they look ridiculous. Like, and Chad Gable looks ridiculous. He always looked ridiculous. It's like, let's move on from that and do something else. So, but again, it was a fun time. I'm not here for the 10 o'clock start though. We need to.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a tradition in Mexico to start the shows really late like that.
Yeah, well, they're in a different time zone, I believe.
That's true, but like,
usually
I think it's Central Time Zone.
Their weekly TV is always like, or I should say, weekly YouTube is always either 10 or 11, something like that.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, they be partying, I guess, man. So maybe this is a good time. That's just a prime time for Mexico. I don't know. But for me, it's not prime time for me. I know that much.
I'm just glad
10
it's
o'clock
on
on a
YouTube,
Saturday.
It's like not hard to find either. Like I don't have to go to some streaming service and look for it. I just
That's the case for now. Until they see, there's demand for this.
Right.
Put it behind the paywall.
Yeah.
So don't get it twisted. Enjoy it for now. Enjoy the freedom that we have of this show for now. But if there's like a real demand for it, if they see like, and clearly there was for the last night's show, that's not to say it's going to be replicated in future shows, but you don't have to pay for that at some point.
Yeah, I mean I think
they'll find a way.
Triple Mania on there the last time, and
a
couple big events on there already.
I don't know how the TV rights work as far as like, cause I know it airs on like Fox in Mexico. And I don't know how that works as far as whether, they could put it behind, like where they could put it behind paywall, what the contracts are. But like at some point, they're going to do it. They're doing it for free now because it's partly at least because they can gauge the interest that's there. You show people, you want people to see it, you give it away. They can afford to do that. This is WWE. And then once they see the demand, put it behind the paywall. Charge them for it. So yeah, there's that. You listen to the Straight Shooters. This Donnie Wahlberg from WrestleMania 10. And you listening to Vaughn Johnson and Nick Piccone at the Straight Shooters, y'all. All right, took a little break here on episode 465, and we're back. Sans Brian Isley. He had some technical difficulties, but we're here to recap Clash in Italy. We figured that, since we're recording this on the day of, we might as well talk about it. We both watched it. Nick, overall thoughts on... What's that?
I said we did.
Okay. Yeah, we did. Overall thoughts before we kind of dive into the match by match here?
I thought it was a cookie cutter WWE ESPN event. I didn't think it was like terrible, but I wasn't moved by much. In fact, I was negatively moved by one in particular.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm just, it wasn't like special, so.
No, and these rarely are these days. These non-big four pay-per-views, even their big ones now aren't that special, to be honest with you. But definitely these, you kind of make them call them like an in your house almost. They have 5 matches on them, and they're all times of the day. It could be on Saturdays. This one's on one's on a Sunday, but during the day. And they're all over the world, which they had a big crowd again tonight, at least a lively one, I should say. As far as the show itself, meh. It's about, like you said, what you'd expect from WWE at this point in time.
3 hours
Nothing
at
too
least.
crazy.
Thank goodness. Almost exactly 3 hours.
That's if there's one thing to take away from these brief PLEs is that they are brief. The thing is though that kind of excuse me, it kind of makes me feel iffy is that they give away 2 of the 5 matches for free on ESPN.
Yeah.
Which, if you're an ESPN frequent viewer, that's great. And they gave away 2 big matches: WWE Championship with Cody Rhodes and Gunther, and the WWE Women's Championship with Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill. 2 big matches to give away. Mm-hmm. But if I pay for ESPN Unlimited, and I'm paying, I think it was for $30 a month, why y'all giving away these matches, bro? Like, what's going on? And also, I'm only paying for 3.
Right.
That's a weird deal there. I get that, like, ESPN is almost using those 2 matches to kind of try to sell people on the app. But the people who have the app, it's kind of like, so I'm really only paying for 3 matches. That's not great. But, yeah, the show overall, again, just basic WWE show that you get throughout the year. 2 world title matches. I guess 3 world title matches on the show, so that's unique, but not much else was. Let's start it off with the opener, which again was available for free on ESPN for the undisputed WWE Championship. Cody Rhodes defeats Gunther by pinfall, but controversy is afoot as Gunther's foot was under the rope. Clearly under the rope, but the referee counted to 3, giving Cody the victory. I feel like this will allow Cody and Gunther to run it back. I don't know what the next show is for WWE.
The Night of Champions, I believe.
Night of Champions. So, okay. So, I would assume that at either Night of Champions or soon after, we're getting a rematch between Cody Rhodes and Gunther. I think Gunther should win the title, honestly. But as far as this match, Nick, what were your thoughts on Cody Rhodes versus Gunther for the title?
Again, didn't move me that much. This is like Cody and Seth all over again. With Cody, I think he's got 3 wins now over Gunther. He had the King of the Ring win over him, and then he had another. I think he had another one.
Well, didn't Gunther beat him for the Crown Jewel Championship, or was that? I thought that was a Gunther win.
Because Cody won the first one, so maybe I don't remember if he beat Gunther or not.
I think Cody beat Seth, right? Was that? Well, that was that last year. Cody beat Seth last year, I think.
Or did Seth beat Cody?
This is I can't remember.
The worst
you
part
might be right.
WWE, man.
You might be right.
I just can't remember.
I gotta look
nothing
that up.
seems like important. With as much TV as they do, nothing really sticks. And it was weird with Gunther's foot being under the rope for like 2.5 seconds, and then he just kind of flails it up. Like I thought, watching it live, I thought, oh, Cody hooked his leg, so it was almost like a heel tactic. But then you see the replay, and Cody didn't even do anything. Like Gunther just lifted his leg up, like 2.5 mark. So I have no idea what that was supposed to be about. I did catch the post show, most of the post show. Cody already threw out, like, if Gunther wants a rematch, he's got it. So perhaps that'll play into the next PLE. But yeah, I mean, like, I agree with you. I think Gunther should win the title. I thought today would be a pretty good time for it. But we'll see what they have planned down the road with these two. But I can't see him much longer, like, not holding or not winning that title. Because if you just keep having a match and not winning a world title, it's just like I stop caring about you. Just in general, like the wrestling audience is just going to stop caring about you. So,
is that how they're going to feel about Jacob Fatu?
I mean, that's how I already feel. It's crazy what they've done to me.
Well, we'll talk about it. But yeah, the match itself was fine. I do think though that eventually Gunther has to beat Cody for the title. I don't see why Cody has to hold this belt for the whole year again. And Gunther's whole thing is that he kind of wins all the time. You got to maintain the aura. So maybe Cody gets it back at SummerSlam, but I think Gunther has to beat him at some point. But this match was fine. It's a good way to keep the title on Cody and keep the story going. So you have that. They did something there. You beat Gunther without really beating Gunther, so sort of. His foot was on the rope, so there's some controversy with that. But
I know we'll
see what happens next.
I know they were on ESPN, but like 11 minutes and 35 seconds. Hard for me to get like too invested in that. It didn't feel like a short match, but kind of surprised it was only 11 and a half minutes. But not that makes or breaks a match for me. But I just wasn't. I don't know. Just didn't feel special. It almost felt like the Crown Jewel main event where I was just like, oh, this is just an excuse to put them in the ring together. Now, like, they're in a full-fledged feud, and you have, like, a weird finish like that to start it off. Like, it's like, come on. We can't think of anything better. Yeah, well, again, like, maybe we'll see what happens in the future. But got to have better endings to their future matches, hopefully.
Well, we'll see. For the record, Cody did defeat Gunther at Crown Jewel a couple years ago, and he lost to Seth Rollins last year. Okay. So there is that. Moving on, it is now time to discuss the WWE Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley retaining against Jade Cargill. All the champions retained, by the way, except one. I should take that back, except one. But Rhea Ripley also retains against Jade Cargill with the help of Charlotte Flair. So Rhea has a new friend, I guess. I guess the friend of my... Was it the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of deal? Because they're not really friends with Rhea Ripley, but she also doesn't like Jade Cargill's group, which doesn't have a name. But Jade Cargill, B-Fab, and Michin, they are beaten once again. I don't know how we're supposed to take this group seriously if they just have lost the entire time they've been together with Jade Cargill. Like, I feel like Jade Cargill was better off without them.
Yeah.
like ever since she joined up with them, she started losing. She lost again tonight. I don't know where we go with Jade Cargill now. I guess she goes off against Charlotte. Maybe they meet in the finals of the Queen of the Ring, where Jade Cargill loses again. Because that's, to me, it looks like they're trying to build towards Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair at SummerSlam, potentially. That's what it looks like to me. And the quickest way to get to that is to have Rhea Ripley obviously keep the title and have Charlotte Flair win Queen of the Ring.
Yeah, and I that'll be like a face versus face match. I'm like fine with that. I don't think we need anyone to turn or something. But where does that leave Jade? Like you said, does her or one of those others go for the tag titles? Like I don't know.
Did she go for the U.S. title? Did she go against Tiffany Stratton?
Right.
I don't know, but it just feels like this hasn't done much for Jade. She's gotten she's in big spots, big matches. You're going against Rhea Ripley, and that's dope. But like, how has she benefited from this? How has B-Fab and Michin benefited from this arrangement of them being all together? Other than, hey, they're on TV. That's a benefit for them, like, in reality. But like, as far as just getting them over as a group, what have they done to do that since they've been together? I feel like the group has to like look strong. I feel like that's the reason why we thought that Jade Cargill was going to retain at WrestleMania, because it's like, okay, they need her to maintain the strength of the group that just put together. Mm-hmm. That didn't happen. So, I don't know. I don't know.
Seriously,
but
it's confusing, to say the least.
It's kind of strange. I'm just not following what's next, because to me, Jade Cargill losing this much doesn't seem like it's the right way to go. Because losing WrestleMania, Clash in Italy, and then I would assume she's going to be in the Queen of the Ring tournament. The way they're kind of pairing off Charlotte and Jade, it feels like they're kind of putting them both in there to meet in the finals potentially, which I think is a big match, a big spot again for Jade. But does she lose that one too? I don't know, man.
They just released the bracket on the pre-show.
Oh, what's the bracket? I didn't even see that.
So I know Jade's in there. So guess who else is in there?
Who else is in there?
Your women's world heavyweight champion, Liv Morgan.
Wait, why?
Yeah, dude. So you got these fatal 4-way matches in the first round. So 4 fatal 4-ways for both the men and the women. For the women, you got Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, and Chelsea Green in one fatal 4-way match.
Oh God.
Sol Ruka, Lyra Valkyria, Charlotte, and Jade in another Fatal 4-Way. So they're not going to be in the finals, that's for sure.
Okay, well I'll take it all back then. What is this tournament?
Roxanne Perez, Io Sky, Zulia, and Lash Legend in another Fatal 4-Way. And in the last one, Bailey, Raquel Rodriguez, Jane. Was that JC Jane?
JC Jane, yeah.
And
JC Jane.
James, Kiana James. So.
Well, maybe Jade can get some revenge in this Fatal 4-Way that she's in. Which, I don't know why they just don't do all one-on-one matches. But I guess
thought it
if
was
you don't...
that at first. I was like, oh, we got 16, so 8 matches. No. Then I looked at the bracket.
They'll
and
do
it's just
it.
Fatal
Yeah.
4-Ways.
I guess they don't want to take the time to do all those matches. They're just like, let's do 4-Ways and then cut it down to the 8 so we can focus our creative energy on just 8, which I can sort of understand.
Just 4. Well, 8.
I'm saying, like,
once
you get past this round, like, instead of 16,
it's 4. Yeah. So whoever wins.
Oh, you're right. So
Fatal
those
4.
Oh, so each Fatal 4-Way, that's crazy. So you're going from 16 to 4? What kind of tournament is that? WWE, you got to at least have semifinal. I guess you will have semifinals, but like, what?
No quarterfinals, though.
That's kind of...
Well, the quarterfinal is, a Fatal 4-Way. 4 of them.
That's kind of whack, bro.
It is.
I'm sorry.
I don't like the format.
I don't like... They didn't do that. Did they do it that way
They've
last
done
year?
it before. They've done like triple threats before in tournament formats. So,
this is what they at least had like a quarterfinal, right?
But that's the eliminate or not elimination, but that's the either the triple threat or the Fatal 4-Way is like technically I guess the quarterfinal.
Like a real one.
No, I don't remember the last time they had like a one-on-one.
They had in
tournament.
2024. They had all one-on-one matches. So that was 2024. They had
that was all 2 years ago. I don't even remember that.
Yeah, they had a first round, a quarterfinal, a semifinal, and then the final, of course. That was 2024. The sensible days. And then 2025, they shifted to the Fatal 4-Way. So yeah, they've had this format last year too. I don't like it. Also, Jade Cargill, I forgot Jade Cargill did win Queen of the Ring last year. I forgot about that. So she could probably go to the final and lose again and lose there. So, maybe put her on a run. But it's only 2 matches before the final. How much of a run will she go on? I don't know, man. I don't love the format. And I don't love what they're necessarily doing with Jade Cargill, Michin, and B-Fab. I don't know where they're going.
And they have a world heavyweight champion in there. With Liv Morgan.
Yeah, I don't understand. It's for a title shot. It's her logic being like, I don't want to defend it, or I want both titles. Like, maybe, but we got to explain that. We got to get some logic out of that. Why is she in that tournament? It just doesn't make any sense. But here we are. Moving on, we had the much anticipated rematch between Brock Lesnar and Obafemi, and this was a spectacle where Obafemi took 7 F5s. I think including the one where he got put through a table before he was finally beaten by Brock Lesnar. And Nick, I know you're going to be negative on this, but hear me out. If they're apparently going to run it back again for a rubber match, Oba will beat Brock. I feel like the one win at WrestleMania was enough, but they apparently had nothing else for Obafemi to do until, I guess, what would be, I would assume, my assumption, SummerSlam, where that would be the end, right? It's in Minneapolis. That's Brock's home state. Right? He doesn't live there, but that's where, he's raised in Minnesota. And that's where you end it. And maybe, or is Oba in the King of the Ring? I don't know. What's the bracket for that?
He is.
He's in the King of the Ring.
He's in a Fatal 4-Way.
So what? Hold on, let me see the bracket.
Penta,
I got to see the bracket, man.
Solo Sikoa, and Carmelo Hayes.
Who's going to win that one?
I have this on postwrestling.com. They have it. Want to go there, but
yeah. Let me see this, man. Hold on. Yeah, Oba, Femi, Solo, Carmelo Hayes, and Penta. Yeah, I think Oba was going to win that one. So where are we going here? Because now they're even, but Oba has to win the King of the Ring, right?
No, he's gonna lose. Just to face
Why?
Brock again.
Is Brock going to cost him his match?
Well, I guess he doesn't have to be beaten, right? It's a fatal 4-way. Thank
I
goodness.
don't. I'm lost here because I feel like okay, they set it up to where Brock beats Oba, and look, if they're going for a rubber match, that is perfectly fine for me. At SummerSlam, that's a big SummerSlam attraction. Even though in my mind, Oba would be challenging for Roman Reigns at SummerSlam because he would win the King of the Ring. he would win King of the Ring. He probably would have had a couple matches up until this point. And then King of the Ring happens, and that's when you really get the push going. Mm-hmm. Instead, they did the Oba Femi challenge, and they brought Brock back, who had a retirement at WrestleMania. Why do all of that if you're going to just do this anyway? You could have just said Brock is going to get his look back. And that would have been fine. Instead, you do the whole leaving the boots in the ring so you can swerve Oba Femi and the fans. I don't get that. It's not necessary. And it kind of just spoils a moment that Brock had at WrestleMania. Like, can't get that back. Or can you? I don't know. It doesn't seem likely. But now, Oba Femi loses. Where are we going? What do we do? Nick, what do we do?
I don't know.
Also,
it's so...
Jey Uso's also in this tournament.
Yes, he is.
What if... I don't think he's going to, but what's his motivation here? Because
he's just Roman's right-hand man again.
Right. He's going to challenge Cody? Or he's going to challenge Roman? What? I guess it's an excuse to get him and LA Knight in the ring. I'm so confused. So these are 4-ways. These are not one-on-one matches, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. Got Seth Rollins in there.
Yeah. Talatonga's in there.
Dude, could you imagine if Seth Rollins' fatal 4-way match with Vaughn Evans, Talatonga, and Ricky Saints? Like,
who's going to win that one?
Wow. That's tough.
They got Trick Williams and Braun Breaker in the same match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we got to see what happens, man. Because I didn't even see the bracket, so I'm like reacting to this in real time, and now seeing it, it's just like,
yeah.
The thing is it's also the format kills me, man. It's just like it feels like it's being rushed for the sake of not having to come up with as many ideas. We'll pare it down, but I'm not following what they're doing right now. It's lost on me. I'm sorry. Maybe somebody else have found it, but I have not. Anything else about Brock Lesnar, Oba Femi?
A lot of people already have, because I went on social media, said my piece, and they're like, oh, the money match is going to be a SummerSlam. That's where the draw is, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, if you really wanted this to feel uniquely special, you don't do another trilogy with Brock Lesnar. He's had 1 million of them, especially since he's been back. When he came back in like 2012, he's had a bunch of trilogies. So what's different about this? Oh, Oba's going to beat him. He got beat before in trilogies too. But nobody cares. You could have made a one and done with Oba mean so much more than a trilogy win with 2 out of 3 over Brock. I don't hate that people are excited about it. Like, I'm not trying to piss on their parade, or just piss on what they like, because I know there are people out there, you see the crowd reaction, they like this stuff, and that's fine, but I'm over seeing Brock Lesnar F5 someone 1 million times and suplex him. It's so boring. There's nothing exciting about it. in 2026. It's just not. This is who he is. There's no reinventing Brock Lesnar. Not that he needs it, because he is what he is, but this is it. Like, I'm not excited by it. I don't know. I guess, like, if you're in person, you see how big he is, you're like, oh my God, like, what a crazy human being. Sure, that's different. But, like, I'm watching at home on TV. I'm not excited by Brock Lesnar anymore. I don't know who could possibly sit there and watch him suplex a million people a million times and say, this is enjoyable. I love this. Like, it makes no... I don't want to say it makes no sense, because, again, I'm not trying to piss on anyone's, like, what they find entertaining. But for me, it's just more the same old. It's the same old with Brock Lesnar. And now you just throw Obafemi into something that, okay, another trilogy. He's had a million of them. You're just doing what Brock's done a million times, just with somebody new. That doesn't necessarily make Obafemi, that special guy. That could have been the one and done for Brock, and that's it. And then he goes on the run, like maybe wins the King of the Ring, and then goes to SummerSlam for a title match. Like the way you did it with Brock in 2002. And obviously you don't need to do everything the same exact way all the time, but this is what they're doing with Brock. The same exact thing, just with Obafemi, that we've seen a bunch of times before. All I want is just something different. And this is just more of the same old, same old. I don't care if everyone's excited about an F5 through a table, 7 F5s in the match to eventually beat Oba. Is like, that was so awesome. Like, I don't see how it was awesome. I just don't in 2026. Like, it's just so old for me. So give Oba the win at Mania. And listen, if he lost at Mania, I'd probably have a different outlook. Because then it's like, okay, Oba gets his win back. Whatever, I guess we're stuck with the trilogy. But once you gave him that win at Mania and Brock's fake retirement, this should have been it. Like, you could have brought Brock back for, like, someone else, I guess. I don't know. But, like, Oba, like, you keep that special, and now you have a rubber match again. Like, Brock's had a million rubber matches in his second WWE career. It's just not special. It's just not. I don't care how many people love it and say, the money match, SummerSlam is going to be awesome. He's going to retire Brock. He did that at Mania. Like, that's what happened at WrestleMania. We're just going to see it again. We're just going to see it again. And you know what? Like, I'm sure Oba loves it. Like, he's going to be the guy. But it's just, why? For me, it's just wasting it. I don't know. Like, you had Oba in the spot that Brock was in 24 years ago, and you're just making him like every other guy Brock's fought before. That's kind of how I look at it.
I just look at this as like, okay, if everybody assumes that Brock and Oba is a match at SummerSlam, that means Oba's not winning King of the Ring.
Right.
Which, for one, I think is a mistake. I guess you could always get him there at the Royal Rumble, but again, that takes time. That's months from now. That means you got to book him.
Yeah.
And you can mess it up. If you're really banking on it being like, this is going to be a WrestleMania thing next year, I guess. But, like, to me, do it now. They didn't put Brock over for the first time as the champion at WrestleMania. They did it at SummerSlam. Did it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Don't mess around. But here we are. So if everybody's right, and then assuming it's Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, that means Oba's not winning King of the Ring. Who in the hell wins it then? Who? I guess it's
Seth, I think.
I guess you could say it's wide open, but Seth goes against Roman. We've seen that before. Like you said, we haven't seen it one-on-one in a while, but we've kind of been there. Is that that's
Braun
it?
Breaker,
That's what we got?
maybe? Braun Breaker, but I don't see how he and wait, who's in the same match as him? I closed that.
It's Trick Williams, Dom
Trick and
Mysterio. I don't see Trick winning it.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't see, pretty much, if Obafemi doesn't win it, I don't see anyone in that particular match winning it.
Braun and Seth on opposite, size, so I could maybe
That could be
they're in
your
the finals.
King of the Ring final, yeah, and Seth wins because Braun Breaker beat him at WrestleMania. I can see that because I don't see anyone in that lower right quadrant there with Jey Uso, LA Knight, Royce Keys, and Finn Balor. Nope, none of them are winning. Only one that Seth Rollins' match is going to win is Seth Rollins. And Braun Breaker, the only one in that match is going to win is going to be Braun Breaker. The second place, honestly, would be Dom Mysterio. But, no. And if Oba Femi is not going to win, it's no one in that match either. So, yeah, Seth Rollins, congrats. You're going to win the King of the Ring. You're going to be Braun Breaker to do it, and then you're going to lose this Roman Reigns at SummerSlam.
Or Cody.
How you feel about that?
Right?
Huh?
Or Cody, I guess, right? If they don't do Gunther and Cody there.
I feel like the match is Roman and Seth. I feel like that's the match. That's the match we haven't really had one-on-one yet. They haven't really revisited that yet. To me, that's the match.
Yeah. Well, they did.
Especially if, remember when Seth Rollins hated Roman Reigns because he was, a tyrant with power, and he had this whole family terrorizing the whole show, and now look where we at again. Remember when, Seth Rollins was like, hey, don't mess with Roman Reigns. He's a terrible person. He hasn't changed. Look at him now. Seth Rollins is kind of right. He was kind of right. We'll talk about it in a little bit. But, yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with King of the Ring and Oprah Femi and whatever else. I guess we'll find out in due time. Let's move on.
We got the finals at Night of Champions, too. So
right.
I think that's June 28th, right? So
yeah, so they don't have a lot of time. Maybe that's why they're let's get this thing over with. Let's do it. Let's do it quick. Moving on to the Women's Intercontinental Championship. June 27th. Okay.
Saturday.
Women's Intercontinental Championship. Becky Lynch losing her title to Sol Ruka, who wins her first singles title on the main roster. I thought this match is actually really good between Becky Lynch and Sol Ruka. I think it's a good decision. I think it's the right decision to have Sol Ruka win the match. My only thing is that the whole thing between Becky Lynch and Jessica Carr just doesn't make any sense at this point. There's been so much going on between them for little months. It's why does she referee her matches anymore? Just get a different referee. And then now I guess it's always a way for Becky Lynch to be like, it's her fault. So I guess that's what Becky Lynch wants to do. But Sol Ruka, your new Women's Intercontinental Champion. How you feeling about that, Nick?
I was actually surprised. I didn't think she would win it. Again, I know this is a second match against Becky. First one, nothing to write home about, but this one was better. And I was just kind of surprised. I thought maybe she would lose again, and then they would set up the third match to where she would finally beat Becky. But kind of surprised they pulled the trigger on this now. But listen, good match, and she had her segment on the post show, getting a lot of cheers and everything. So I think it's fine it's not like a world title, so I think it's fine when you do you pull the trigger on stuff like this for the mid card titles. You just kind of feel, I guess, the audience out, see how they react to her, and if they she starts getting less cheers or starts getting more boos as we go on, then they can obviously they have an easier way of dealing with that when it's the mid card versus main event players. So it's fine. I don't have any issues with her beating Becky, and Becky is just so funny with her facials and everything. Just
when her face when she's crying after she lost, she's just bawling, crying in the ring. It's pretty good.
It's just I'm entertained by that. Becky is Becky. She's made. Again, I think you've said it before. She doesn't need a title to make her segments and matches feel important. They just are now. So that's part of the reason why I'm okay, let's see, what she could do without a title, and she could always get back in. Plus, she could always go back to the main event picture too.
Yeah, which I think they should do. Honestly, I feel like she's needed back there. I feel like they have options with Sol Ruka. You could do Raquel Rodriguez. You can do, even though she could probably still be in the world title picture, but maybe Roxanne Perez. You can. I'm trying to think who else they have in the roster on Raw. Man,
Io Sky's there.
Io Sky. Yeah, she had a close match with Io Sky. Maybe you do something there. But Yeah, I think it's the right decision. I think Becky Lynch could challenge for the world title again. Is she? I got to see the Queen of the Ring graphic bracket now, because I have not seen either one of these brackets
Becky's
before we
in there
recorded.
in the match with Liv Morgan.
Oh,
And
there
Alexa
we go.
Bliss and Chelsea Green. So
Yeah, so I think that will play a part in where people are going here. So, we got Charlotte in here with Jade Cargill in that match. Sol Ruka is in the match too. Okay, okay, and Lyra Valkyria, Roxanne Perez, Io Sky, Julia, and Lash Legend. I know who's not winning that one. It won't be Julia. We know that much. Bailey, Raquel Rodriguez, JC Jane, and Kiana James, as you said earlier. So, yeah, I think, again, Sol Ruka winning the championship, it makes sense. I think there are some potential opponents for her, like Bailey, like Io Sky, like Lyra Valkyria. They're all baby faces, but I don't see where else she goes unless she gets a rematch with Becky Lynch in the time being, which won't happen in the Queen of the Ring. So, Liv Morgan being here throws me off a little bit too.
Seriously,
like for you,
doesn't make
like
sense.
like you as well. There's nobody else. There's no one else. I don't know
Rhea
where we go with
Ripley's not
this
in there right as of now.
as of right now. But the thing is with when WWE has recently put over like new talent, the follow up is usually kind of rough. You look at Stephanie Vaquer and how they just didn't really have much for her to do once she won a title, and the same for Jade Cargill, and the same for Julia. Gave them all belts, and in theory, good idea, but the follow up has got to make sense. The follow up has to be on point, and in those three cases, three of them. Not like a massive sample size, but a pretty substantial one recently. It's not been good from WWE standpoint. So here's Sol Ruka, who's super talented, is over. I don't know if she's as over as Stephanie Vaquer was when she won the title, but she's pretty over, and she's got a dope finish. Now she's the champ. Now what? In recent, like in the last year or so, WWE they just dropped the ball. They just done nothing. I don't think Stephanie Vaquer got more over as a result. I don't think Jade Cargill got more over. Hell, you can go back to Tiffany Stratton. I don't think she got more over when she won the WWE Championship.
No, yeah.
So the follow-up is so important. It's so important. Like, I can't stress it enough. And hopefully they get it right with Sol Ruka. I have my doubts. I'm just going to say it right now. I just have my doubts. It's great that they put the newer talent in this position. Becky Lynch is putting everybody over with the Intercontinental Championship. She also put over, Maxine Dupree, right?
Yeah.
Where have we gone with that? She's just going to join Division at some point. Yeah. Whenever they get around to it. They've been teasing it for weeks. So eventually she'll get there. I guess they'll have a tag team title match with the Alpha guys, and then she'll cost them the match somehow, and then I'm with these guys now. Cool. But she was Intercontinental Champion like a couple months ago. What happened? Where's Natty Neidhart? Maybe that's the next opponent for Sol Ruka. I don't know, but it's just, again, back to my original point. The follow-up has to be on point, and WWE's recent history and recent track record does not point to that being the case for Sol Ruka as well. So I hope I'm wrong. Now, it is time for the main event of the evening. It is Tribal Combat for the World Heavyweight Championship and the position of Tribal Chief of the Anoa'i family. Roman Reigns defending both of those titles against Jacob Fatu, and of course a pretty much what would be a run-of-the-mill no disqualification match. They got to do something with Tribal Combat. You can't call it Tribal Combat and then do nothing. like it's got to feel different.
Like, Jacob seemed to be moving like okay, so whatever that knee injury was, I know it looked, I guess, like his knee was taped up a little bit, but it didn't feel like different.
You got to do something, bro. Like, it's just another match. I guess it's Tribal Combat when it comes to the title of Tribal Chief, but like, I feel like there's got to be something. Like, I feel like something. I don't know. It's just another match. But Roman Reigns beats up his cousin once again. breaks his hand so he couldn't do the Tongan death grip, and speared him through a table and speared him again, he speared him again to get the pin, and now Jacob Fatu has to fall in line with the Bloodline. And he walked out with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns and the Usos are clapping him. Come on, boy, let's go. You with us now. Like, what was it? Anchorman, when they're telling Brick to come, tell him, it's like, come on, let's go. Let's let this die. Come on, Brick. The match itself was good. Okay? But I don't know what the hell is going on here. I don't know what we're doing here. I've already had issues with this from the beginning, right? Because, for one, Roman Reigns, the good guy, quote unquote, teams up with his cousins again, but not in a way that makes them feel like they're equal, they're part of the show, they're, part of the act of like what makes this whole thing cool. He's still very much the leader.
Yep.
We don't see main event Jey Uso anymore. He's gone. We haven't yeeted in weeks. Okay? Weeks since we've seen the Yeet man go.
Mark Henry Jr. Loving it.
I'm sure he is. But how is this better for Jey Uso? Right? Like, he was main event. And he put up no resistance to rejoining Roman Reigns. Not like where they teamed up in War Games. That's one thing. Hey, we cool on that level.
She was like a reluctance, there.
Right. But like, don't disrespect me or I'm going to slap you. Like, we can be cool. I ain't got no beef with you. We still cousins. But don't be trying no nonsense with me because I'm going to slap you. And I'm okay with that story.
Yeah.
It made sense. It means growth for Jey Uso as a character. He was abused and manipulated by his cousin for years, and he stood up for himself. And he's like, I know what, I'm done with it, and I ain't going back. Roman Reigns respects it. That's what makes him a good guy. Hey, I'm sorry, cuzzo. Won't happen again. I got you. I respect you, gangster. Instead, Jey Uso is okay with Roman Reigns doing the same thing to somebody else. You gonna respect me. You gonna love me. This doesn't cause some type of trauma for Jey Uso. Be like, yo, I've heard this before. I don't like this. Nope, he's clapping along with it. Yeah, we winning now. We back on top. No, you're not. Like, you back where you were before. Which wasn't a bad spot. I mean, the bloodline was cool, but like, I don't like it now. I'm sorry. It's not fun anymore. It's weird. Now, you've beaten Jacob Fatu twice now.
Yeah. In 1 month.
In a month. This time clean. And now he's going to just follow Roman Reigns around. Unwillingly. I guess this is supposed to help him.
I guess. Who knows, with his injury, if, things change. But again, we kind of were ready to see Jacob take the reins and see how
do his
that
thing.
Plays out. So, not yet, I guess.
But, in the meantime, you don't have to make him fall in line. It doesn't have to be his time right now. Mm-hmm. But he's already in a group that he broke away from. That other bloodline. Oh, wait, they're also involved in this. Yeah. Solo's just hanging out watching it. I guess Roman Reigns is like, oh, we're going to beat them up too. Why? Do we need the bloodline Civil War? I thought we already had that, bro.
Yeah, they hot shot that. That's for sure.
Didn't we have that already? Didn't we have a bloodline Civil War? Wasn't an OG bloodline against the new bloodline not that long ago? Was that last year?
That was, I think, Survivor Series 24. So over a year, year and a half.
Right. It has to be. It was Survivor Series 2024. Yes. Right? Well, we also had Roman and Solo versus the Usos back in 24. Remember that? That was also Bloodline Civil War.
Yep.
So let me look it up because I need to
they had the
OG Bloodline. I see it now.
JB.
Because Sami Zayn was with them.
J Pin Roman, right?
Yes, in that tag team match.
Was
yes.
That 23.
That was 20. That was 24.
That was after.
No,
Roman
that was 20.
lost? Yeah, I thought was Roman the champ because it was Roman and Solo, right? Versus the Usos. So I think that was 23.
Yeah. So we're going back even further.
When they beat the tag title, when Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn beat them for the tag titles, that's when Roman started shutting them, and that was 23.
Yeah.
It actually kind of made Roman beating Cody that year worth it because we got some of that stuff.
Yeah, which was good stuff.
Yeah.
But my point is that we've been here before.
Yeah.
So we're running it back. Just with Talatonga and man.
See, but they have to do something different, right? Like it can't be the same thing, right?
But where? Where do we go? What? Jacob Fatu's already unwillingly in the group. So him doing something wrong to Roman Reigns, isn't that surprising? Roman Reigns already beat him. Straight up beat him. Where do we go now?
What if Solo and his guys fall back in line, and now we have one big group again? Bigger than last time. Listen. I know I said I hate what they're doing with Brock and Oba because it's more of the same, but at least the Bloodline, you see character arcs happen.
I've seen character regression from Jey Uso.
That is true. That's true. But even Roman said after during the post show, he's trying to make things right. He's trying to do it the right way, as pertaining to his legacy and his bloodline and stuff like that. So he's still
beat
playing
up my cousin again.
He's still playing like the good guy that maybe he doesn't. Maybe it's supposed to be like I don't realize I'm a bad guy, but I'm a good. I'm doing good things. I'm way more. I'm a better person than I was, 3 years ago. That type of thing. That's kind of like what he's given off. So I do think eventually, we don't need the Civil War stuff. It could be like a big group, and then I don't know. I don't know, but I want to see more character stuff if we're going to go that route, because we haven't seen any character work from Brock Lesnar, and that's why I get annoyed with him and the Oba stuff. But Bloodline, there's you still have avenues that you could take to try and make that more entertaining than it was in previous years. But again, in 2026, right now, as we sit May 31st, it's really hard to see a positive outcome of that.
I'm just done with it. It was great when it was 22 and 23 and everything kind of came down to 24, and that was it, bro. Of course, you had some carryover with the Solo Sikoa stuff. Okay, fine. But even that was like NWO 2000 vibes. Now we're just doing it again. It's been now 6 years. That there's been pretty much 6 consecutive years. There's been some incarnation of a Bloodline / NOI family group. And now we're going to go at it again with the two groups, two factions, I guess. And they're going to beef again for the title of Tribal Chief. I don't know. Who cares, bro? I'm done. Let's see Roman Reigns go against Seth Rollins, I guess. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm just not understanding what the stories are happening here. The matches are fine.
Well,
that's fine. But there's so much story that's just missing for me. Why did Jey Uso just so willingly do this again? Why did he sign up for this again? Jimmy Uso, he ain't been doing much. I get it. But Jey Uso won the world championship. He's not concerned about that anymore. I guess he will be because he's in King of the Ring. But this is the first time he's even thought about it as a character since then. Or any world title. Or even an Intercontinental Championship. Not even the world title. Okay, maybe not the world championship because Roman Reigns has that title. But the IC title is right there. Penta's got it. Try to beat him. I don't know, bro. He should be more singularly minded. I know that sounds like, he got a ride for the team, but the team was abusing him. The team was bad for him. And he flourished on his own.
He made Roman a better person, though.
I'm sure that he beat another cousin, and he could just watch it and be like, yep, you better fall in line. I remember what it was like when I was in that position. Yeah. And I eventually hated it. So I don't know.
We don't
it's
see
very
Seth
confusing.
Rollins going back to the Vision, right? So maybe he starts plucking some of Roman's real cousins in real life. Maybe.
Or Seth Rollins rejoins the Vision, so he got some backup.
That would be lame.
Remember I told y'all, bro, to like.
Although that might be what
this is
Paul
gonna
Heyman
happen?
needs, because Paul Heyman is not anything right now. Like I get annoyed when whatever he's trying to do is not working. So maybe he needs Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just weird stuff going on right now. Stuff that just
It's just a lot
not
of
making
stuff.
sense to me.
There's nothing that we were able to like sink our teeth into, really get entertainment out of on a consistent basis. We're watching these shows every week and just like, well, hopefully this is good. And like years ago, when like we knew the Bloodline segment was going to be good no matter what, and we would always look forward to that. And it just kind of made the whole show better. Like it made like mid-card matches more entertaining just because we knew the Bloodline was around. We were waiting for the promo, or the promo just happened, and we're just like, oh man, that was like so good. And we're enjoying the program just based off one segment. We don't have that right now. And maybe it's just the commercialization of everything. They're on Netflix, and the way they structure their commercials and PLEs and stuff. It's just, I think that has something to do with it, and the creative does not help because the creative hasn't been good either. So it's just it's a chore to watch again, the way it was back in like 2020, 2021, 2022, the way we would say, like, man, it's just really a chore to watch this post-COVID. Even pre-COVID, obviously, it was a huge chore to watch. But I feel like we're back there again, which is frustrating.
It's a tough show to watch narratively speaking. Like the action in the ring can be hit or miss at times, mostly good, but just sometimes it's like, it's just a fine match. But like narratively, it's tough to follow, and it wasn't like that just a couple years ago.
Yeah, it's like the wrestling doesn't dictate the stories the way kind of, I guess, it does in AEW. It's just sometimes week to week doesn't make sense. I would much rather whatever took place in the ring dictate the stories from week to week, but that's not WWE. And
I don't know.
I hope they could get back to that. I don't know if they will, but I think that's what makes it enjoyable to follow. Gotta watch Raw, and listen, Raw's not 3 hours anymore, but doesn't exactly mean it's a better watch either from week to week. And it hasn't been like terrible, but there's nothing that really stands out. And where does CM Punk fit into all this? Is he got to come back and interject?
I didn't think about that.
In that, because like I think he's having a well-deserved break, after his run. So we'll see how he plays into it, if he does at all.
Yeah, you would assume he'll be back before SummerSlam. He's not in the King of the Ring tournament.
Yeah.
So we know that much. So we'll see. It just doesn't feel like things are clicking right now for WWE. Hopefully they get it right. Like I said earlier, I have my doubts. Any final thoughts on Clash in Italy? I did enjoy the look of the show. I thought the stage was kind of fun, and not really fun, but I like the tunnel. I don't know why I like the little tunnel.
Well, it's
also, I thought the venue was unique looking with like the wide steps in the corners.
In the corner, yeah.
I don't know if that's like maybe it's an issue where you have like, if you have wider steps, it's a safety thing. Like you can get more people on the steps and out faster, for in case of an emergency. Just provided a unique visual. I always like seeing the buildings in other parts of the world because they don't follow the same kind of cookie cutter infrastructure or architecture, I should say, that we do here. All of our arenas generally have the same kind of look and vibe and feel. In Europe, they have unique looking venues. I like looking at those. So shout out to Italy and their unique venues. Different from the ones here in the United States, which are full of advertisements and ribbon boards and LED boards and stuff like that. Just places for advertisements. But any final thoughts from you, sir, on a Clash in Italy?
Not really.
Do better, WWE. Do better.
Yes. I want to like watching, wrestling again. And, it was a good week, with AEW in Philly and then Double or Nothing like that. That was fun. Like I had fun watching that stuff. First time I had fun watching, AEW in a while to really sit down and take in what they're doing. I just, that's the feeling of a sport. I know it's not going to be like that with TKO, but man, it makes a hell of a difference as a viewer that I just enjoy it so much.
There you go. All right. Well, with that said, Nick, take us out with some plugs, please.
You can follow me at _Piccone on Twitter and TikTok. You can also follow me at Piccone on Bluesky, and I'm at Piccone Nick on Threads. You can check us out at Shooters Radio on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Bluesky, Facebook, shootersradio.com for the platforms for which we are available on. And you can check me out at crossingbroad.com. And in June, make sure you keep a lookout for the Inquirer.
Huh?
Because I'll be in there.
Oh.
I don't know when, but I will be. And I'll let y'all know when that is.
All right. Well, I'm at Vaughn M. Johnson on X. I'm Vaughn Johnson on multiple platforms. Vaughn Johnson 166 on Instagram. So find me there. You can find us on Patreon, patreon.com/shootersradio, where you can put in a request for a future deep dive. We're going to do a deep dive in the next episode, but you can put in a request for one in the future. Head on over to patreon.com/shootersradio, put in your request, and we will fulfill it. And you can make a cameo on the show that we're diving deep into. Again, patreon.com/shootersradio. But until next time, for Nick Piccone, I am Vaughn Johnson. Thanks for listening to episode 465 of The Straight Shooters, and we'll catch y'all again next week.
Peace.
Hey, Clavis! Wake up! The show's over. Oh, yeah! Kick it!